This is our second lesson looking at place value for Year 3, and in this lesson we're going to try and answer the question, how do I represent numbers? So we're going to be looking at different ways that we can show exactly the same number. Now if we take a look at this first image, we have the teacher explaining that there's 235 children in our school, and we've got 3 different ways that this number has been represented. In our first model we can see that we've got the number 235, so we've got 5 ones, 3 tens and 2 hundreds, and then we've partitioned that number to make it a little bit more clear. So we can see that 235 is made up of 2 hundreds or 200, 3 tens or 30, and 5 ones or 5. The students are sat at their table and they're using base 10 resources to try and represent this number in a slightly different way. So exactly the same number, but using a different way to actually show it. And we can see on our part whole models that we've got the 235 and they've broken it up into 2 100 blocks, which we can see as the 100 squares. We've got 3 10 sticks and we've got 5 1 cubes. So 2 hundreds, 3 tens, 5 ones to make 235. So let's have a look at the number on the board. Again, we've shown this using our base 10 resources, and we can see our hundreds, tens and ones. So can you calculate what number is being represented in this image? Excellent. We can see on this that we have 4 ones, 2 lots of 10 and 1 lot of 100, so we have 124. And we can see here that we've got written down 100, 2 tens that are 20, 4 ones that are 4, so 124. We've got that written in both words and numbers. Now looking at our second way of representing numbers, this is our abstract part whole model, so it uses digits rather than images. And we can see that we've got our hundreds and our tens and our ones once again. And those 3 numbers, when combined, will give us 1 number in total. So, thinking about the way that we saw the teacher working it out, can you identify what number I'm trying to create from this image? Excellent work. Yes, it is 476. When you combine 4 hundreds or 400, 7 tens or 70, and 6 ones or 6, you make 476. Good work. So now we're going to be going to our books and we're going to be showing our understanding and knowledge of these 2 different methods of partitioning and representing numbers. So the first one being the base 10 images, and the second one being our abstract part whole model. And we've got 2 boys here who are giving us questions, and our job is going to be to represent these in both ways, so the base 10 images and the part whole abstract model. We've got Jim who's telling us there are 365 days this year, and we've got Bob who's telling us I have 130 swap cards at home. So now in your books I would like you to show me both those numbers in the pictorial base 10 model and the abstract part whole model. So now pause the video while you work through that problem. Excellent work. Now let's have a look at these answers. So we had Jim who was telling us there was 365 days this year, and using our base 10 models on, we can see the picture underneath them which represents 3 lots of 100, 6 lots of 10 and 5 lots of 1. So we have 300, 6 tens which are 60 and 5 ones which are 5, so 365. Then moving alongside him we can see Bob, and Bob explained that he has 130 swap cards at home, and we can once again see there's 1 lot of 100 and 3 lots of 10, so 100 and 3 lots of 10, which are 30, so 130. And looking at our abstract part-whole model, we can see that Jim has got his 365, which he's partitioned into 300, 60, and 5, whereas Bob has partitioned his 130 into 100, 30, and 0, because of course he has no 1s in this case. Now, returning to your book, what I'd like you to do is to look at the different ways that I've represented these three numbers and record the number that it is being shown. So this will be a time to pause the video and allow yourself time to look at each of the representations and write down in your book what number you think is being represented by each. Fantastic work. So let's see what our answers are. So looking at question A, we can see that we had our base 10 representation in our place value grid. And in this case, we had 300s, 6 10s, and 4 1s. So 300, 60, and 4, which gave us an answer of 364. In this part-whole model, we used our base 10 resources once again and showed a pictorial representation of the number. And we can see that we have 100 square, 3 10s, and 7 1s. So we had 100, 30, and 7, which gave us an answer of 137. And our final representation was an abstract part-whole model, the one where we're using our digits rather than pictures and images. And in this case, we can see that we've got 700, 40, and 8. And when we combine those three values together, we make the number 748. Great work. Now our next step is to go to our workbook and we're going to try and answer those questions independently. And then once we've managed to do that, we'll be able to go and have a look at the methods we've used and what the answers were. So good luck with your independent work.